Hello everyone, welcome back. So in this video I will cover how to create PDA using Anchor framework. So in my last video I have covered like how to create your Anchor project. So if you go through that video you will get to know about the structure of the Anchor framework. So this is how the structure is in Anchor. So mainly we have to focus on this program folder and this test folder. So in test folder, we have this file anchor first.ts, and in program folder, we have src folder, and inside src folder, we have lib.rs. Okay. So these are the two main file. So inside anchor first.ts, I'll tell you like what I have written. So these are like some import statement. Means I'm importing anchor framework as an anchor. Then I'm importing the project serum part, like the program from this anchor part. And then these are some value from the web3.js Solana. Okay. And then and then this send and confirmation. So these are basically some library which I'm importing. So I will actually provide the GitHub URL for this program. Okay. And then we have to create this ideal object. So ideal is a interface for description language. So we have ABI file in Ethereum. So similar way we have ideal file in Solana. So we have to pass this path. So this file get created when once we compile or build our project, anchor project. So once you build the anchor project like running anchor build, then this file will get created with the project name inside the target folder. So if I go to the target folder, you can see inside target we have this ideal folder, and inside ideal folder you have this ideal file. So we have to pass the ideal file path. Then we have to create a connection object. So if you are making a connection with the local, then you have to pass this URL. If you want to make a connection with the devnet, then you have to pass this URL. Similarly, we have URL available for testnet and mainnet. Then you have to create the object for program. So program is nothing but the program ID. So this is your program ID. So this program ID you actually get once you build your project. Okay, so the same like we declare here, right? Declare ID. So that ID you have to pass and you will get a program ID object. Then you have to create a program. So program means to create a program you have to pass two object basically. One is the ideal and second is the program ID. Then I have created one dummy user. So this is the private key for that user, and this is the public key. Okay, so this is just for setup. Means we have one wallet and the program and the connection. So these are like the main things. Then from here we are actually starting our test cases. So this is our first test case is initialized. So inside IT we have to define the test case name. So it will be a async function because we are going to call some await features. Then here we are creating a transaction object, and then we are dropping some Solana. Here we are dropping some Solana. So these are like Lamport. So 10 to the power 9 Lamport equal to 1 Solana. So I'm passing 1 Solana to this particular wallet, this user wallet. So this user wallet we are creating here. So inside that wallet I'm passing some Solana. Okay. And then comes the PDA part. So this is the method to find out the public key of the PDA. Okay. So this is basically the seed. So I am passing user wallet public key as a seed. So when actually we create a, or when we try to find out some program address or PDA, we have to pass some seed. That can be any value. So here means I'm just passing the user wallet public key as a seed. So it will return me the the PDA public address and the bump. So bump I told you means when I was explaining in my earlier video, I have explained like what is PDA and how we can find out PDA and what value like the functions return. So this find program address return two things. One is the PDA address and second one is the bump value. So when we pass this seed, right? This seed can be anything. Okay, so here I am passing the wallet value. But generally what happens if suppose even after putting the seed value, if your value is not drifting from the elliptical curve, then actually it takes the help from for user bump, and that value start from 254 253 like that. Okay, so it returns two things. Okay, it this function is not creating the PDA, it is just giving the address. Okay, so we will have the address, but it does not mean that it has created the PDA on the Solana blockchain. Okay, here we are just trying to receive the address, and then we are adding a transaction. So what that transaction will do? So program is nothing but this program, because we are passing the program ID, so it will point to or link to this particular program. So inside program we have one method, and inside method we are calling the endpoint. So in this method we have this endpoint initialize method. So this is the endpoint. So this initialize method we are calling, and we are passing the user bump. So if you see here, right? So we are actually receiving bump and the context object. So here we are passing bump and the list of account. Okay. So if you see the list of account, we are passing first account as a PDA. Okay. Second account is nothing but the owner or the user wallet key, and third account is nothing but the system program. So these three accounts we are passing. So if you see the hash drive account, okay, hash drive account for this is initialized. So here you can see first one is the public account or the PDA account. Second one is the owner, and third one is the system program. Okay. So means if somebody will call this initialize method, so what functions like somebody is passing from the front end, so that will get validated from this particular thing. Okay. So like from the front end, I'm passing these three account user, owner, and system program. And here also I'm expecting like these three program only. So if you see here, like public account user, so we have one more macro has account in it. So we are trying to initialize this particular account. Okay. So in Anchor, if suppose you want to initialize any account, so this macro also you need to specify. So public address we are passing from the front end, and by putting this macro, we are telling like you want to create this particular account or public key on the Solana. Okay. So when you will call this function here, means you are signing, and when you are doing send and confirm tagging, it means you are calling this function. So when this function will get call, so like before going into the function body, it will come here and it will see like what are the macros. So these two function it will catch easily, and on owner it will provide the mutable link, and account user it will initialize, because here we are passing the macro and we are just telling like can you please initialize this particular account. So it will initialize here itself, and once the initialization will get completed, then it will come inside the body of the initialize method. Okay, and it will print PDA initialized successfully. Okay, and here if you see PDA, we want PDA to be of type account user. So here we are defining like what account user will contain. It will be an account, and it will have only one value user. So you can actually store any number of value. So that you have to define here. So this is like the complete end to end, like how actually these things happen. You are initializing means once you are writing your test cases, so you have to create a transaction object. Then you need to airdrop some Solana if there is none, right? And that you can do only on the testnet or devnet or local, because on mainnet you cannot airdrop like that, because these are like some fake or some dummy Solana. Okay, and then you are trying to find out the PDA address. So find program address actually return the PDA address. Okay, based on the seed. So if I will change the seed, then the PDA address will be different. Okay, and then here we are calling the endpoint of the program initialize method, and inside initialize method this is how we are telling like can you please create it. So this is the way of initializing the PDA. Okay, I hope you understood it. So now I'm going to run it. I'll tell you how to run it. So I'm actually running it on the local. So what I will do, I will actually close some of the terminal. Yeah. So because I'm running it on the local, so first I need to start the local Solana cluster. So for that we have a command Solana test validator reset. So if you run this command, so it will actually start the local Solana on your laptop or on your machine. So here this local Solana is running on this particular address. If you see here, right? So on this particular address, it is running. Now I will open the new terminal, and here I will run anchor test. Okay. So this anchor lifecycle I have already explained in my earlier videos. So you can go through that video. So now it is building. So building part is done. Now it is running the test part. And to check, we have something called Solana Explorer. So if you come here, so you need to change the net. So you need to go to If it is testnet, then you need to go to testnet. Okay. So now you're on the localhost 8899, and then you can search your program ID. So it is path. So here if I search, so it has like written one transaction for now, second one. Okay. So first transaction is always for the program deployment. Okay. So if I open it here, you will see it is for upgradation or deployment. Okay. So it has been deployed. It is basically for deployment. Okay. So the second one is for the endpoint function call. So if I come down here, you see, right? Initialize method. We are calling initialize method. Okay. So this initialize has been happened. And if you see here, right? So this is the PD account key. This I am actually trying to print. So if you see here, here user PD account, I'm trying to print like in the end, like console.pda account key like this. So if I search PD account key here, you can see, right? This is the PD account. So it has created. Okay. If you go here, so you can see this account has been created, and the owner of this PDA will always be a program. So this is your program, NAA. This is your program ID, right? So program ID will always be the owner of the PDA. So you can see program ID is the owner of the PDA. So this is your PDA account, and this is the owner. Assigned program ID is the owner. Okay. So this is how actually you initialize the PDA. And if I do control C, so I have now I have stopped it. And if I run it again, so this particular history will be gone. If I refresh it, then you are not able to find it. Huh? So if I try to find out uh, this particular address, so you will not be able to see it. Okay, nothing is coming, blank. Huh? But if I run it again, anchor test, because I have spin up the cluster again, so it will actually destroy everything. Now it is again creating and again deploying, and it will create the PD again, fresh. These are some variables which I'm trying to print like in the end. If you see here, fine, okay, fine, and then print part, just for checking. Yeah, okay. So this one, if I search out again, yeah. So if you see here, this account and this is the parent. Again, it has been assigned. So I hope you like this video. See you in my next video. Thank you so much. Bye.